Christmas, I'm Tom Vassell.
Ho, 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 I'm Z Garcia.
Hello, welcome back. I'm Sam Healy.
We're doing a series of videos that we do every year talking about great games to buy for other people as gifts. Other people. Maybe. We try to pick games that are not necessarily new, although a lot of these games are new, but just games that you can go out and purchase, check out Cool Stuff Games, and get some of these online. This time we're doing stocking stuffers. Now, how big is the stocking? Who knows? We're basically small games. These are little small games that you can give someone as a gift. You don't know what to stick in that stocking? Put one of these. At least one of mine. Maybe.
Maybe even one of mine. Who knows?
Well, let's find out. What would you put in my stocking?
I'll tell you. I would
Coal.
start.
Come on, man. That was a softball.
No, I was going to actually start in on the games I would put in Tom's stocking.
Okay.
My first pick here is a game called Blank.
Just fill
Oh,
it in.
I thought you were just leaving that.
Blank? No,
fill
the
in the
game
blank.
is called Blank. Now, this is a good one for as a gift for someone who is used to playing something like Uno, that kind of game, someone who enjoys a simple card game, but you want to give them something if you want to be creative as well. You see, Blank gives you the basic bare bones of a card game, a very simple card game, but a lot of the cards are, well, blank. And as players win games, they are going to make up their own cards. They'll write on those, and then the next time you play, that new card will be in the set. And so the more you play, the more that game becomes your game. You're going to give it to a family and have them develop their own version of Blank with in-jokes, with, this card little Timmy came up with, and so he really likes that one. It's a kooky rule. Or, mom and dad like coming up with rules that are a little less goofy maybe, and so again it develops into something that is very familiar and very much about you or your family. So Blank is a really great stocking stuffer. That's my first pick.
My first pick is, you take your pick really, between two different versions of essentially the same game. That is either Star Realms or Hero Realms. Star Realms is the sci-fi version of the game, and Hero Realms is the fantasy version of the game. And at this point in their production, they're pretty much the same game as far as what they offer you. It used to be that Hero Realms had special character packs where you became a ranger or you became a barbarian, and you had a different starting hand and you had different amount of health and all this other kind of stuff. Well, Star Realms has taken on that now as well. Now, I will say the Star Realms has more in the expansion ability aspect of it than Hero Realms does, because Hero Realms isn't as old as Star Realms is. But both games are very good. Deck builder, 2-player, can be played up to 4-player, I believe. So it's a great deck builder game, plays very quickly, plays very intuitively almost sometimes. So I really think that it's a great pick, especially for stocking stuffers, Star Realms or Hero Realms, whichever genre you like the best.
All right, I have the smallest game that fits in any stocking, and that is Mintworks. This game looks like it comes in a small Altoids can, and when you open up, there's little white pieces that look like mints. And in Mintworks, it's a little what we call worker placement, where you put these discs on cards and then take the action on those. And it's very simple. You do this, you get points. You do this, you buy these cards. A really little game, maybe takes 20, 30 minutes to play, but a very small, portable. You can carry it around in your wallet. No, it's not that small, but it's pretty small. And I like it a lot. The theme is fun, and it's kind of a neat gift to give someone too. Mintworks.
My next pick is for someone out there who is either a big fan of illustrated art or maybe a painter themselves. This is a game called Sunset Over Water. And in it, you are going to be moving around a board made up of a display of gorgeous cards, collecting different paintings. The idea is you are moving around and painting these yourself and then selling them to galleries or collectors and making points from doing so. This is going to be very easy to play, very easy to get into, while giving you some interesting choices in movement and limitations. Some of the other painters might get in your way, things like that. But it's going to be one that if you have someone in your family or a friend who loves painting or just loves the outdoors in general, this is going to be a great pick for them. So again, Sunset Over Water.
My next pick is a game that just came out this year, just a few weeks ago at Essen, and this is called Walking in Burano. This is a game by Emperor S4 Games, and it is a neighborhood building game where you are going to be drafting cards from a open display and using them to build different buildings in your neighborhood. There are a couple of caveats. You can't have the same colored building next to each other. You have these restrictions. You are able to break those restrictions, but you're going to be losing points at the end of the game if you do so. You're also trying to get other types of tourists to visit your neighborhood, which will score you more points at the end of the game. More city officials to be proud of your neighborhood, that type of stuff. So it's just a really neat little card game that plays very quickly, and it has a lot of really neat choices involved in it as well. And it looks great on the board because of all the different colors that are popping. So it's Walking in Burano from Emperor S4.
Archaeology, the new expedition. This game has been out for a long time, actually, but it was just reprinted. So there's a good, why not get this great game? This is a game where there's cards in the middle of the table, and you are basically collecting sets of different pottery shards and different archaeological things to get points. And then you trade cards with the middle of the table and collect those back and forth. But there's sandstorms and thieves, and you might lose some cards. It's a really simple little game that when I first saw it, I was like, I don't know about this game. And then I played it, and I played it many, many times. And the Archaeology, the new expedition, adds a few minor tweaks to it, makes the game, it's still very fast and simple, but makes each game different from the last. I like it a lot. Archaeology, the new expedition.
It's definitely one of my favorites. If you want to play a game, a small card game, and you want to cooperate with everyone around the table, well, then the Grizzled is a great pick for you. The Grizzled is going to put you in World War I. I think that's right. World War I is where it sets you. And it's all about this group of friends of, and the camaraderie that develops with these brothers in arms. And you are going to be, the gameplay itself is fairly simple. You'll be playing cards to the table, to no man's land, attempting to not go over specific thresholds. Again, cooperating, because if you do break one of those rules, well, then everyone will be penalized, and you are attempting to not develop, to get your timing right, while also avoiding specific traumas that might develop in war. Some of them are going to change the abilities that are available to you. It's a clever game. It's a very simple sort of, a game that it's taken this concept of working together and boiled it down to its very bare essentials. If you're looking for something like that, you want to work together, cooperate, but you don't want to get bogged down in the minutiae of rules, then the Grizzled is going to be a great pick either for you or as a gift. That's my third pick.
My third pick for Stocking Stuffers is a game that I've talked about, I think, every time we've ever mentioned Stocking Stuffers in the recent past, and that is Age of War. If you want a neat little dice rolling game where you are definitely not working together, you're basically trying to take control over these different Japanese-themed castles that are out there, and once you do so, if you get all of the cards for a certain set, you can actually lock them and turn them over, and they're yours for the entire game. However, if you don't have the whole set, people can try to not just get the card from the center, but if you already have it in front of you, they can try to get it from you as well. So there's a lot of interaction in this game, but it's basically just dice rolling, trying to get different combinations on the dice, and if you do so, you're going to be doing better. But a great little game. The dice are all custom, and they are very well produced. Just a great little pocket game, Age of War.
The next one is very controversial because some people hate it, but a lot of people love it, and that's The Mind. This is a simple game where each person gets a card, and you need to play them in order from smallest to largest without talking or communicating what's on your card, just figuring it out through your minds. Sounds like it's an impossible task, but it's not. And as you get better and better, you'll be getting 6 cards for each person. You got to play all 18 cards if the three of us are playing in order. And you slowly, as time goes by, start communicating somehow. It sounds like it's a woo type thing, but it's not. It's more of a timing. If I have a card that's 97, I'm probably not going to play it right away. I think most cards are less than it is. Very entertaining. Not necessarily a game that I want to play all the time, but the experience is hilarious, and I think a lot of people would love to get this at Christmas. So that's The Mind. Most people, anyway.
All right, my final pick is a game in what we call a roll and write style game. Think Yahtzee here. You're rolling dice and then you're writing something on a sheet of paper, your own. This is a game called Qwinto. And Qwinto, you are going to be rolling colored dice and then writing those into your own board, trying to have those numbers go up in value as you write newer numbers in, and avoiding having the same number show up in a single column. So if I've already written a 12 in the top colored section, I cannot repeat that 12 in one of the colors below that. You do this sort of puzzly activity in order to get the most victory points. These are normally very simple. Qwinto is one that combines that simplicity with some interesting choices as well. And most players are going to be involved in every turn, so there's not going to be a lot of sitting around and waiting as you would in some of the more traditional games of this kind. So again, Qwinto would be a great game for new gamers to slide into their stocking come the season. So there you go.
My final pick for the stocking stuffer really affords you the most diversity out of probably any of the picks that we've offered you so far, and that is a game called Timeline. Now, Timeline has a number of different kinds of versions and expansions.
At least 10, I think.
And you can probably find one that's going to be right down your alley. There's a Star Wars timeline. There's a British history timeline. U.S. history timeline. You name it, there's possibly a timeline version out there for you, or something very close to it. Basically, all you're doing is you have a certain number of cards. I believe it's 3 cards in front of you, maybe it's just 2, but you're trying to play these cards into a timeline that is being collectively created between all of the different players. When you play a card down there, you can play it either in between 2 cards that are already existing or on either side of either of those cards. And you're trying to get it to where your card fits within the timeline. And if you do, you've gotten rid of your card and you're that much closer to winning. If you don't succeed, however, you have to draw another card to replace the one that you messed up on. And you're trying to be the first person to get rid of all of their cards and play them out correctly into the timeline. It's a very simple game, but it's also very fun, and it's also a little bit of a challenge to see if you can recall those different things, whatever the theme of the timeline version you're using is. So that is my last pick for stocking stuffer, Timeline.
It's also educational.
Yeah.
Last one for me is Muse Awakenings, or Original Muse. They're essentially the same game with different pictures. Weird artwork in this game. It's a party style game where you're playing team versus team. So you pick a card. We want you guys, one of your teammates, to give clues about this card and get everyone else on that team to guess it. And your clues have to be whistling only, or they have to be one word, or you can only point to things in a room, whatever. There's all kinds of weird ways to give the clue, and then a weird card that you have to give clues about. And that combination is really fun as you watch the other team try to struggle through the cards you picked for them. And it's very entertaining back and forth. The fun artwork helps a lot, and just the unusual clues. So that's Muse, or Muse The Awakenings. So those are small games. Hopefully you can fit all these in one stocking. That'd be probably a pretty big stocking.
That's a nice stocking. I gotta get one of those.
Is that your stocking? That's a
My feet
nice
are that
stocking.
big. All right. Well, anyway, you can find all these online. Check out Cool Stuff Games for many of them. Until next time, I'm Tom Vassell.
I'm Z Garcia. Have a good one.
Sam Healy. Merry Christmas, folks.
Ho, ho, ho.
Thanks so much for watching the Dice Tower videos. Find more great videos and reviews, as well as our top-rated audio podcast at Dicetower.com. The Dice Tower is sponsored by Cool Stuff Inc., where you can find great games for great prices. Cool stuff in stock. Check them out at CoolStuffInc.com.